Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Call Allah to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rekar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to all the brothers and sisters in the truth and steady coming in. Shalom. Welcome back to Faith Before Steps. And today I will be going into basically just going over the curses, skimming over the curses and edifying on how it applies to us back then and still applies to us today. So, with all due said, I'm going to start off in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and I'm going to start at the 15th verse. And it reads, But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And the reason why we fell out of the wisdom not understanding because of being disobedient. And once the Most High pulled his hand away from us, we became less and less of a nation and less of the Most High's people, and we became reprobates. We became just like these other nations. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. And any city that Jake desires to go to, he is treated to the lowest standards of anybody on earth because he's a part of those curses. Like, for example, if Jake was to go to Hollywood, Jake would be treated like a bum. Compared to if Jake was to come back to the truth and come back to his nationality and be around brethren, he will feel a sense of a resting spot. But seeing that we are cursed in this place and we don't have no rest, everywhere that we go, we are held to the lowest of the lowest. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. And when you go to these different neighborhoods, like all around the world, Jake don't own these stores, man. Jake is not set up to own anything. Jake is only set up to be the downfall of everything. But being in captivity upon these Edomites, watching them do all this wickedness and being a part of the wickedness, you learn to appreciate righteousness more than you do wickedness, because after so long you get tired of seeing the same shit, of seeing the same stuff going over and over and over and over and over and over and it being wicked. Now I see if it's a difference if it was righteous. If it was a righteous standpoint and everything was repeating itself, then yeah, that'll be cool because you're not losing. But in this society, you are losing bits and pieces every time that you create a sin. Every time that you follow after these nations, you are losing. Cursed shall be the fruit of the body, and these bodies that we have are cursed, subjected to ailments, subjected to sickness, diseases, viruses. These bodies are deaf. And the fruit of the land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Esau have destroyed all of that. By his ways, by his economic pushes, by his monetary systems, by the resources that he is willing to obtain by wickedness. cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. And that's true, because we take hell on every side. Whether we try to live righteous in this society, we still subjected to hell and oppression by these nations. And whether you're a part of the system, you're still going through hell and oppression. The Heavenly Father shall send upon thee curses, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, yeah, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doing, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And because we fell away, start following after these different nations, being a part of that wickedness. Let me get a precept. Ezekiel, the 18th chapter. Where is that? I read 4. It say, "Behold, it say, all souls are mine." So every soul that's on earth belongs to who? The potter. Because everybody on earth is just what? Clay. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. And these are the Most High's words, man. All souls are the Most High's. Ultimately, even the wicked, man. And the soul that sins shall die. And what is sin? Sin is death. But if a man be just, and who are the just men? The Israelites. And do that which is lawful and right. And what's lawful and right? These laws, statutes, and commandments. And had not eaten upon the mountain, neither had lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, neither had defiled his neighbor's wife, neither had come near to a minstrel's woman, and had not oppressed any, but had restored the debtor his pledge. And to be restored, it means to be put back right, to be set back for good. Had spoiled none by violence, had given his bread to the hungry, and had covered the naked with a garment. He had not given forth unto usury, following these different nations, neither had taken any increase, that had withdrawn his hand from iniquity, which is sin, had executed true judgment between man and man. And that's telling the truth, bringing out the word the right way. Had walked in my statutes, and had kept my judgments to deal truly. He is just, he shall surely live, saith the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Shah. So, and ultimately, you want to teach the right way, learn the right way, and build in the right spirit, man. Because ultimately, following after these other nations is death, and following the ways of the world leads to death. Now, from Ezekiel, get a precept in the book of Numbers real quick. In the 18th verse. And it reads, the Heavenly Father is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation. And are we not in the fourth generation right now? We are in those times where the Most High is ready to visit us, man. It's a pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according unto the greatness of thy mercy. And to be pardoned means to be forgiven. And as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt until, it's like from Egypt even until now. And the Heavenly Father said, I have pardoned according to the word, to thy word. The Most High has pardoned our iniquities if you come back to him. If you come back to the Most High, your iniquities are being pardoned, forgiven. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of Yahweh Shema Shah. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I have did, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, because Jake wanted to follow after these different nations. He wanted to be disobedient. He wanted to be a backbiter. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, which is what? The land of Canaan, the land of Israel. Neither shall any of them that provoked me see it. So, just like during the times of the wilderness when they was murmuring and going against the Most High and going against the truth, it's no different than today. America is just that big ass wilderness. And you Jakes are still murmuring at the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, not trying to accept his word. But the elect is going to be like Caleb during that time, man. It say, but my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and had followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it. So we going back to our land, man, with patience and with time, with the long sufferings that we go through, with the vexation, with the love of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, we will be brought back. Go to the book of Job, 34th chapter. Job 34, and then I'm going to start at 33. Yeah, I started 33. It reads, should it be according to thy mind, he will recompense it. Recompense what? The elect back to the nation of Israel. See, Jake don't understand that the Most High is going to bring us back, man. The Most High always loved us, man. Israel is above all nations, man. And you just got to wake up and see it, man. It say whether thou refuse or whether thou choose, and not I, therefore speak what thou knowest. And what do we know? This truth, man. This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that is set up by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah. Let men of understanding tell me. and let a wise man hearken unto me. Because the Most High told us not to be ignorant towards Satan's devices, man. And what Jake is doing, falling right into the snares. Job has spoken without knowledge, and his words were with wisdom. Were without wisdom. My desire is that Job may be tried unto the end because of his answers for wicked men. For he added rebellion unto his sin. He clapped his hands among us and multiplied his words against the Most High. And who is that talking about? That's talking about these Edomites, man. Start with the top banking family, man. What do? They try to add to the word. They try to take away from the word. They burn the books. They burn our churches. They seared their knowledge up in you Jakes. They burnt their knowledge up in you Jakes. Using the rod, using the sword. Destroy the nation. These devils need to go down. These devils need to go down, man. Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, in the 7th verse. And it reads, I have seen servants upon horses, and these Edomites, that's what they do. They hold themselves up to the highest standards, where they think they control everything, man. They think they can control your life. They think they can control everything that you set forth to do. Esau think he control the future. And the princes walking as servants upon the earth. And who are those princes? You Israelites. Phileas said it. Verse 6 say, Phileas said a great dignity, and the rich is set in low places. And that describes Esau and us. Phileas said a great dignity. That's Esau. All this Phileas is held to the highest standards on earth. And the rich sit in low places. We the rich, we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which trumps over any monetary, any substance on earth. We got the true riches, man. Daniel 9th chapter and 11th verse, and it reads, Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing. Yeah, because we all fell away at a point in time. We all stopped believing. That they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of Yahweh Shemashah, because we have sinned against him. And we have. And he had confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. And who is that great evil? These Edomites, man. And another part of that great evil is going to be Jacob's trouble, which is going to be like a time never seen before, a dark time. For under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done unto Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. Yet may we not our prayers before the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, our power, that we might turn from our iniquity and understand our truth. Because Jake want to follow after these other nations, man. Jake want to follow after lust. He want to follow after money. Jake want to be set up like these Edomites are set up, man. Jake want to be set up like these other nations are set up. Jake want to have fun. Jake don't want to be under law, statutes, and commandments. He don't want to be obedient. He don't want to be disciplined. Jake don't want the truth. Therefore had the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, watched upon the evil. The Most High is watching these Edomites do this to us. The Most High is giving these Edomites the power to do this to us, man. Because we forsake the Most High. For the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, our power is righteous in all his works, which he doeth. For we obey not his voice, because we fell away. The Most High didn't fall away from us. We fell away from him. That's why it's so hard for you Jakes to understand. That's why it's so hard for you Jakes to come back to the Heavenly Father, because you don't want to acknowledge that you was wrong. You letting pride get in the way of you apologizing to the Heavenly Father for you coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments. So from there, I go back to Deuteronomy 28th chapter. And I skip down. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and I started 25. It say, and the Heavenly Father Yahweh Shema Shah shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. And who is our enemies? These other nations, pursuant to Psalms the 83rd chapter. Starting at the top family of Esau, trickle down to these other nations. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And we have been set in all these different kingdoms of the earth. We've been in different captivities ever since we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. Ever since we fell from our power. Verse 28 say, and the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, which is mine. And yeah, and you see a lot of Jakes out here bugged out. A lot of Jakes crazy and in mental states. And thou shalt grope at noonday. And a lot of Jakes do grope at noonday. Like a person in a dark room without no light. With your hands out just groping. As the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in our ways, because we don't prosper in our ways, because we are under curses, we're under oppression, we're under captivity. And spoiled evermore. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. And that's the same thing that it speaks about in Revelation 13th chapter, when it speaks about the mark of the beast, and you're not gonna be able to buy, sell, and no man gonna be able to save you. No man gonna be able to save you during this day, because you what? Oppressed and spoiled. thou shalt be betroth a wife, and the other man shall lie with her. And that's what's going on right now. A lot of adultery. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. And we're not able to be happy at our own houses. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shall not gather the grapes thereof, because we don't own anything. Edomites own everything, man. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes. And yeah, all our resources taken away from us in our face, man. It say, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thy ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. So that's no power, man. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, which we went through that during slavery, and still go through that today. What do they call that? CPS. And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long. And we are in sad, sorrowful states. And there shall be no might in thy hand, because we don't have no power. Our power lies within this book, man. Lies within the wisdom and understanding of who? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shai. It's the fruits of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. And that's us being at the lowest and the lowest of the lowest estate right now, man. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes which thou shalt see. And Jake not mad, man. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Oppression make a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. And you Jakes are destroyed because you accepting these gifts, man. Verse 37, it say, now, verse 36 say, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema shall bring thee and thy king which thou set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor the fathers have known. And that's slavery. And thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. And what are you Jakes doing right now? You serving these different idols. That has nothing to do with Yahweh Shema Shai. Nothing. Verse 37 say, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Heavenly Father shall lead thee. And niggas, black, coon, speaks. That's what we have become. Bywords. They call themselves white. They not white, they Edomites. The Ammonites call themselves Japanese, and they Ammon. The Chinese call themselves Chinese. I mean, Moab call themselves Chinese, and they Moab. Hamites call themselves African, and they not African. They Ham. Esau put these bywords on us, man. He has to be destroyed. It say the strangers that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And who is these strangers? These other nations, man. He shall lead thee, like he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Because we are at the lowest of our state, man. These Edomites, they have the resources and the monetary system to lend to us, but we don't have shit to lend to them. We don't have shit to lend to our own. We can't even lend to ourselves. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkest not unto the voice of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And the Most High gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to be separate from these other nations, and Jake don't want to be separate from these other nations. It's just dumb. It say, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seeds forever. What's going to be upon us? These laws, statutes, and commandments, these curses, these afflictions, this pain, until we come back into our right state of mind. It say, because thou servest not the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, and which is mine, for the abundance of all things. Because Jake don't want to serve the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah. He want to serve his own belly, which is death. And because of that, Jake discontinued from his heritage. This Jeremiah 17:4, it say, and thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And who gave us this inheritance? The Most High Power. And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. And who are our enemies that the Most High is talking about, man? You go to the book of Psalm 83 chapter, and it reads, keep not thy silent, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against the hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So these nations wanted to cut off Israel from being a nation. And who are these nations, man? It say, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Now these are the nations that come against us, which is all the other nations that's outside of Israel. It say the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites. It say of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Jabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Palestine, the Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also join with them. They have Hapelin of the children of Salah. So all these different nations wanted to come against us. Well, all these different nations came against us to destroy us, man. So you just gotta wake up, man. Gotta understand that these nations are only wanting to take us down, man. They only want to destroy us, man. That is their whole goal. To destroy us. So Let me get one more precept and I'm in the lesson. Isaiah 34:1, it say, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear." It's everybody on the earth. It say, "And all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the heavenly Father Yahweh Shema Shah is upon all nations, and its fury upon their armies. He had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come out of the carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll." That's the thermonuclear missiles. And all their hosts shall fall. All their armies gonna fall down. It say, and as the leaf falleth from the vine, so it's like a leaf falling from the tree. It say, and as the fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is these Edomites, and upon the people of my curse to judgment, which is 2/3 of you Israelites, and the rest of the nations. It say, the sword of the heavenly Father Yahweh Shema Shah is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness. And that fatness is y'all flesh, man. Is y'all flesh and blood. It say, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidney of rams. For the heavenly Father Yahweh Shema Shah had a sacrifice in Basra, which is the capital city of who? Esau. It say, and America today is Esau's capital city. It say, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So, Lord willing, you was edified with the understanding of the curses, man, and the getting is good, because these curses was put on Israel for not following the law, statutes, and commandments. But during this time now, these curses are being put on these Edomites and these other nations. And the elect is starting to come back into their right sense of mind, man. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Until the next one, I say shalom.